You owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Get protected today. Call 800-312-9970. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-312-9970. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-312-9970.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen, Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports. Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Holy what is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
Truly, you are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Start it up, let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, as we get ready to take you through the prime time topics in sports, not only just in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. Happy Monday to everybody out there as we get ready to start the week off. Hope everybody had a good first day at work, first day of school, however you got your day started today. As always, thank you for tuning in with us, whether that is on YouTube, Centex Sports TV on YouTube, or if that is on Infinity Sports Radio Central Texas on the Centex Sports One app that you can download on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store. Folks, what a weekend of sports we had this last weekend. We've got the World Series getting ready to start with the matchup set between the Yankees and the Dodgers. An all-time series getting ready to happen, not really just because of the teams, even though both teams are stacked, but we get New York versus LA again. It's always good when you can get East Coast versus West Coast started in any sport, regardless what it is, whether it's football, basketball. This time it happens to be baseball. And I'm actually excited to watch this. You know, for those of you that watch the show, don't talk a lot about baseball, but I do when I can. I talk about baseball when I can. And this is the time of year that I do talk about baseball because it is the World Series. Excited to see both of these star-studded teams playing against each other. Those matchups are set. We saw the WNBA Finals Game 5, which is like a Game 7, last night, and it lived up to the hype. They went into overtime. New York Liberty ended up pulling out that game. I'll talk about that a little bit later in hour number 2 because I think they kind of handed that to the New York Liberty. But I'll leave my opinion and wait to talk about that in hour number 2. We saw a college football matchup. Best one that we were supposed to see so far this year with Texas versus Georgia, and we'll talk about that in a second. We saw the Vikings finally lose their first game of the year. The Chiefs stayed undefeated, and the Jets still suck. So we saw a lot of different storylines happen from this past weekend, everybody. So we got to start the show today, right, with what happened in Austin as the Georgia Bulldogs took on the Texas Longhorns. Georgia came in at number 5 in the nation. Texas Longhorns, number 1 in the nation. Texas has looked like world beaters so far throughout this entire year, blowing out Michigan, blowing out Oklahoma when they did get some competition in there. This was a different animal coming in with the Georgia Bulldogs. And I said that on the week before. Any of you guys that watched last week's show know I said that I thought Texas would win this game, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if Georgia came in and did what they ended up doing. Georgia ends up winning this game 30-15. Neither quarterback played spectacular, so we don't have to go to quarterback play. Yeah, the Bulldogs won. Carson Beck went 23 of 41, 175 yards, 3 picks. So it's not like he was part of that big reason. Trevor Etienne ended up having a good game, 19 carries, 87 yards, 3 touchdowns. But for a majority of that game, he was getting locked up. Trey Wisner, 15 carries, 52 yards for the Texas Longhorns. Didn't get much action going there. Quinn Ewers, the big story of the game. He went 25 of 43, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Also had a fumble in that game. He was benched in the middle of that second quarter. Arch Manning comes in, gets a couple series, goes 3 for 6, only 19 yards. Not sure why they benched him, and I got PJ Gaither on here joining with me, and he'll talk about that in a minute. We were talking while the game was happening. I don't understand the benching the quarterback just to bring him back in thing, because you mess up two people's mental now. You mess up two people's psyche whenever you do that. I don't get that, but we'll talk about that in a second. Matthew Golden, 3 catches, 77 yards. He was their leading receiver. Gunnar Helm got the majority of the work, 6 catches, 62 yards. The biggest story in this game, to me, was Texas' offensive line has looked like the best O-line in college football this entire year, and they straight up got whooped on Saturday. If any position group got whooped Saturday, Texas' offensive line got whooped Saturday by this Georgia Bulldog front seven. Jalen Walker, 8 tackles, 3 sacks. The projected top 5 pick in Michael Williams, who's coming back off an injury, looked pretty healthy in that game against Texas. 3 tackles, 2 sacks. This Georgia Bulldog defense ended up coming up with 7 sacks, got a pick, got some fumbles in there as well. I mean, they played great. But I got to shout out Texas's defense. Texas defense gave them a chance to win this game. Yeah, they lost the game. Their offense couldn't produce, though. Partly, too, like I just said, their offensive line got whooped. The entire night, pretty much Saturday, was getting whooped. And they only had 1 pick. They could have had about 3 or 4 picks, though. Those Bulldogs, they dropped some picks out there as well. But, man, they had pressure in the face of Ewers and Manning the entire night. Now, there's multiple storylines to take away from this. Texas played not as good a competition as some other teams leading into this, like a Georgia, like a Oregon maybe, like Ohio State. And they come out and play Georgia, and they get beat up on. It ended up being a closer game, and a game that I still think they could have won. Like I said, their defense played good enough for them to win. They came up with 3 picks in that game. So the defense played good enough to win. Only 1 sack out there. But Jahdae Barron had 2 picks in that game. I mean, their defense stepped up whenever their defense needed to step up. Their offense just couldn't capitalize. The punter issues for Texas showed up as their punter did not help them at all. And Georgia's punter consistently flipped the field, which ends up working out in your team's favor and helping you get a win when you're taking on a team like this in a game like this that's a defensive battle. Now, Georgia came out and started stumping on them from the beginning, got up 20-0, but Texas came back in that second half. They scored 15 points. They fought back, but with the O-line getting beat up the way they were getting beat up, with Quinn Ewers playing timid the way he was playing timid, some of that is from him just coming off of injury. Some of that is him being pressured all night long. Some of that is him just being not as good, like I tried to say at the beginning of the year when I said I always thought Shedeur Sanders was better than Quinn Ewers. This ain't about Shedeur. I'm going to keep it on Texas and Georgia. But I'm just saying, I never thought Quinn was a consensus number 1 pick kind of guy. And a game like this doesn't help his argument really at all. So Georgia ends up getting a win in this game. They move up in the rankings. They move up to number 2 now. Texas falls back to number 5. They take the spot of Georgia, which I didn't expect Texas to fall back. I mean, you lost to the team that was the number 1 team in the country coming in. Oregon jumps up and is now the number 1 team in the nation after they get a win over Ohio State, who's sitting at number 4 in front of Texas. So, a lot of different storylines coming out of that game. Like I said, PJ, what's your opinion in this game on what happened on Saturday with this Longhorns and Georgia Bulldogs game?
I really don't like to put everything on one player. Mm-hmm. And it's not really me putting it on one player, but Quinn Ewers, he's a third-year starter. He's been starting for 3 years now. And my biggest thing is the way he played in this game is just really unacceptable, definitely for somebody who's been starting for 3 years. I've been watching a lot of tape, bro. I've been watching tape ever since I got out of class today. I was watching tape yesterday. I was watching tape even after the game. And there's this one sack vividly that I remember. We were backed up pretty much close to our own end zone. And he got sacked, I think, on like the 3-yard line. If he would have just stepped up into the pocket, he would not have got sacked. Yep. There were a few plays. They sacked there 7 times now. There's about 4 of those plays where he could, like, it was one, bro, where he ran out to the left side whenever the line they had the pocket covered for him. Like, they had the pocket. He was good if he would have just stayed in the pocket. Instead, he goes out to the left, and what's the guy name for Georgia? Mikael Williams.
Yeah, Mikael Williams. Yeah,
he comes out. Mikael Williams pretty much the entire game, bro. They really just had him shadowing wherever Quinn was going to try to step out at. They know that he had no danger. He was no danger to their defense as far as when it comes to him going out the pocket and running. He doesn't have that. He just don't got that in his bag. And to be honest, he don't even have it in his bag to actually step up in the pocket. He literally stopped going through his progressions and started just looking for the check down guy.
Yeah.
You know, they were and then my thing with Sarkisian is, I'm going to get back to Quinn. I ain't done with him yet. My thing with Sarkisian is, if you know with Kirby Smart, with the type of defenses that he runs, he brings different blitzes. He's bringing different looks. I mean, it was one play, man, they switched the line. I'm talking about soon as he was going to hike the ball. So you couldn't even change, change the look as far as on the offensive side because you was going to hike the ball. And they blitzed 2 linebackers, bro. I'm talking about at the same time. My thing, though, with the line is this. Kelvin did pretty good, our left tackle. He actually played pretty good. The one that I really been on heavy is Cameron Williams, the kid out of Duncanville, the junior. He had a rough night. I'm not going to even lie to you. And it didn't really help that Quinn was just incompetent. Like, he was just incompetent the entire game. Like, let me just stay on subject. But Cameron Williams, I need him to play a lot better, bro. I need him to play a lot better. That's number 56. If you go look at some of that tape, man, dude had a pretty long night for him.
Yeah, it was a rough night for him.
You know, Quinn, man. So I've been thinking about it, and I know we talked about it during the game for a little bit, for a small second, but I'm standing on it, man. Quinn reminds me of Dak, and the reason why I say that, and that's not a bad comparison, because like I was saying that night, Dak he's a starting NFL quarterback and has been for 8 seasons now. Mm-hmm. But he's not a guy he's not a guy that's going to win it all for you. And I'm not saying that we can't possibly still win it all with Quinn. We still can. But what I'm saying is, as far as what his ceiling is pretty much what Dak is. And to me, that's average. It's very average, very mid. the thing with Arch, and it kind of made me mad because I've been seeing a lot of people lately been saying, "Oh, well, he didn't show you anything either. He was only in for two drives."
Yeah, he didn't get a chance to.
And by that time, we was already down. He only played for 2 drives, but in those 2 drives, he still accumulated more yards than what Quinn did, and Quinn had been playing the entire half.
Yeah.
That 21-yard run that Arch had, bro, if you're going to beat Georgia defense, you're going to beat a Kirby Smart defense, you got to go back and look at the teams that have beat them. And it hasn't been that many. Mostly Alabama, you know what I mean, in the last few years. But the teams that even played decent against these guys and almost beat them, they got a mobile quarterback. They got a quarterback that's going to step up. If he don't see anybody open, he's going to take off. Quinn has no pocket presence, 0 pocket presence. It's crazy because it almost seems like he has regressed, but at the same time, there are certain things that I've seen on Saturday that he's been doing that he hasn't gotten better at. And that's what I'm saying. For a third-year starter, you should be way better. They didn't like all this, they smacked Tech. They didn't smack us, bro. We outscored them 15-7 in the second half. Our defense only allowed 284 yards as a whole.
Yeah.
Their quarterback only had 175 passing yards. And he had 0 touchdowns with 3 INTs. I remember playing, bro, high school or college. If the defense got 3 interceptions, we get 3 turnovers, and the offense does nothing with that. That's so defeating for the entire team. We get 3 turnovers and y'all don't go do nothing. Then our offense, we were in their red zone 3 times, bro, and we did nothing with it.
Yep.
And this was all in the second half. So that's what I'm saying is, like, with Quinn, I wouldn't be mad if going into this game next week, if you're going to hear people saying, which you already are, hearing people saying, "Oh man, we should try Arch out for Vanderbilt," because my thing is, you averaging, bro, 4 point. He averaged out like 4.5 yards a pass. Like it's like 4.5 yards. Yeah, like only 4.5 yards. What are
not
you
gonna get it done.
Like, I think we were like third, bro. We were 3rd and 10, and bro threw a screen. I mean, not a screen, but threw like a stop route, bro. Like, what are you doing? It was one play on the interception, actually, and I've been arguing with somebody about this play. I'm gonna go back and look. I'm finna go pull it up right now. I'm gonna go pull it up, man. So the tight end ran like a, I guess you want to say he just ran like a vertical. The slot receiver ran like a comeback.
Yeah.
Now, they're clearly in cover 2. So you know somebody's over the top. So why would you throw it to the slot receiver who just ran? Like I said, because the tight end, he kept going. Tight end kept going. They had a safety like 12 yards back. He clearly was trying to try to, get over the top of the tight end. But they had the corner sitting on that comeback route, on that receiver, and then they had the middle linebacker also sitting underneath as well. So you, instead of lobbing it up to that tight end, you throw it to the guy who has 2 guys on him. And it's clearly cover 2 zone.
Yeah, he was spooked. He was spooked. Like you said, man, you were
stupid.
You were spooked by that defense, and like you said, this is some stuff that he's done over time. It's not all just this game of why there's some criticism of him. These are some mistakes that he's made in other games as well, but they've been so talented that they were able to overcome it. But when you're playing a team like Georgia that's just as talented as you, and in other areas more talented, like that front seven, and Texas got one of the best front sevens in the nation. But, I mean, Georgia's front seven is ridiculous for a reason, like everybody thought it was coming into not only this game but into this season. That was supposed to be the premier part of their entire team. I want to let Quay get in on this. We got Quay joining us as well. Quay, what you think about this Georgia and Texas game, man? What was the reason that Texas ultimately came out short in this game against Georgia?
Well, first of all, watching Georgia lose 2 games in the season is not going to happen. They are on a revenge tour letting Alabama beat them, and so they're going to be coming out crazy. The D line is hungry, and then it goes back to me saying, Quinn, you was just not that guy, man.
He's not.
Like literally, his draft stock is falling. Let me know if I'm tripping, Jay.
No, you tell the truth.
Draft stock falling is getting worse. They're trying to replace him in the headlines, and then no matter what, the the politics the politics of this is really keeping Arch out of this. If it wasn't Arch Manning, then they wouldn't trying to like. I don't know, bro. It's like they trying to prove to him. It's weird.
That Quinn's still the guy, yeah.
Put him in the front of him. Yeah, like they don't want to make him that guy too early. They try to keep him at Texas a little longer. But it's okay. Put him in there if y'all trying to win. And I feel like this the first, like y'all can win. It's like this, y'all have a window to win that national championship. Why not let him play? Like I get Quinn, you were just there, but come on, bro. Like any other coach is best guy up right now.
Especially when you got somebody like Arch on the bench. Ain't like they got a scrub sitting in behind him or something like that. You got the number one quarterback in his class coming in off the bench after him. And like PJ said, if nothing else, his athleticism helped him out against a team like Georgia. His athleticism will help them get over the hump, per se, at points because he can make a run like that 16-yard run. They didn't give him enough time out there, in my opinion. But Quinn came back out in that second half and did decent for a little bit until some of those things came back to try to kind of haunt him towards the end of the game. But the number one problem with all of this is Texas O-line got beat up the whole night. Go ahead, PJ.
My biggest thing with this, though, is if you're going to take them out the game, keep them out the game.
Yeah, come on, man.
Don't play with it. You can't ride the fence with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they riding the fence with it, and I don't really like that. Me, personally, I do feel like, and I'm going to stand on this, I do feel like Arch he's a better matchup for a defense like Georgia because, like I said, teams that have beaten this Georgia team that beat a Kirby Smart defense, you're going to have a mobile quarterback. You're going to have somebody that's not going to be scared to step up in the pocket, go through his progressions. You can't have somebody out there who's nervous. He played nervous the entire game, and it showed. Even whenever he was on the sideline, you just look at his face, he was just overwhelmed. My biggest problem is if he is still hurt, take him out the game. He don't need to be playing if he's still hurt. And one of the most not talked about points of the game too, that really made us get down really fast was our punter is garbage.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say nobody else on this team right now is garbage. Our punter is garbage, bro. Like right now, they need to be doing tryouts to see who on campus. They need to be doing trials.
Like Arizona State coach
can come and punt the ball because he's trash, bro. Like I seen him kick the ball. I swear to God, he kicked it it was only 30 yards, bro. We was on the 20, fam, and he kicked it to the 50. The first few times that they had the ball, they was already pretty much in. They was already on our side of the field. They was already on our side of the field, bro. He's garbage. They need to take his scholarship or something, bro. Do something because he's trash. They ain't even talk about that. I ain't even see nobody talk about that. I ain't see nobody on Texas. None of that talk about the punter. He honestly has a lot of this is on him. Because how you not reversing the field? They punter was reversing the field. Why you not reversing the field? Man, I would have went crazy on the dude. It don't really make no sense. Ain't nobody even talking about it, bro. Like that, he put us in a hole really early, and that's really one of the reasons why we got down as fast as we could. Our defense played lights out.
Can't ask for more out of your defense.
That's the one side of the ball right now. Huh?
No, I'm saying you can't ask for more out of Texas defense. Like what more you want them to do out there?
You hold them to 30 points. Their quarterback didn't do anything. Even with Etienne having a decent game, having 84 or 87 rushing yards, whatever, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, still you still kind of held them under 100 yards. So they played lights out, man, and they kept us in this game and gave us the ball back plenty of times to be able to come back, tie the game up, or go ahead we just really didn't capitalize at all. Steve Sarkisian, I feel like, could have called a better game. He did get out-coached against Kirby Smart. And I understand he likes to run a lot of orbit motion and everything where the quarterback ends up turning his back to the defense and everything. But, like, that too kind of messed us up in a few plays, honestly, a few plays, you know, when you got these guys motioning and you got the quarterback literally turning his back to the defense, but you got an outside linebacker, somebody like Walker, Jalen Walker or Mikael Williams, they coming off the edge.
Yeah.
So by the time the quarterback fakes them and turns back around, they in his face. So now he got to either try to throw it away, take the sack, or just live it up. And that's how one of the interceptions happened. One of the turnovers happened that way was because of that. So I understand they like to run a lot of different motions, like I said, the orbit motion and everything, and just have guys, you know, the complex offense. But, I mean, in times like in that game, we didn't need that. We really needed to run the ball. We needed to establish the run game, which we ended up not doing. And I love my boy Trey Wiseman. You know, he's from the city. But LeBron gonna have to gain about a good 15 more pounds, bro. He gonna have to. That's like real time. He gonna have to. I don't understand these boys now, bro. Like, you can't play certain positions in this game and be, it's okay. I'll be 190. You know what I'm saying? 185, 190. You know, I don't know how much, but me looking at him, it's very hard for me to believe that he's 200.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you know,
when I was going off to school,
I think
going off to school, bro, they gave us a paper. And,
yeah, they did.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think he's young, so he'll have some time to go ahead and, you know, be able to pick up some weight and do some other things and build out his frame some more. But I do got to give him his props for, I think they was targeting dude or something, man. He got hit. He had 3 or 4 hits that I'm like, and he kept getting up.
He held it down.
So I'm like, man, you know, hey, I gotta get a young bull a shout out for that for sure, because a lot of people ain't taking them hits and keep popping back up like he kept popping back up.
Nah,
bro, they were trying to kill him, man.
I'm like, what they got against dude?
Yeah.
Nah, Jay, you know it's different on film when you watching him. It's like he break too easy. Like,
yeah.
Okay, like on my defense. Okay, this one dude, every time he get in, even if he ain't starting, he go for 12 and carry. Now you gotta hit him. Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
No, facts. Yeah, Travis like that too.
The one fact that I'm disappointed in though is Jaden Blue, man. He couldn't pick up a blitz at all.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's just playing because people are hurt right now. Honestly, man, he's gonna end up transferring out, and you know I'm not wishing bad on nobody at all. Definitely not. But he's gonna end up transferring out. We talked about him too on the phone, but he's just, you know, he wouldn't be playing if everybody wasn't hurt. I'll just say that, and it shows that he wouldn't have been playing if everybody wasn't hurt. If C.J. Baxter and all these guys are still out there, Jaden Blue probably wouldn't be out there. But, you know, Texas, they still got a lot to look up to from here. They have a slightly favorable schedule moving forward. They got Vanderbilt, who's now number 20. What is going on this college football season? Vanderbilt is number 25. Boise State is number 16. And Alabama's number 15. I don't know what's going on in this football season right now. Everything is upside down, but they got Vanderbilt coming up this weekend.
Vanderbilt.
Like, it's 25, bro. When the last time you seen Vanderbilt be ranked? Like, I don't think I ever seen that, bro. And that number 25. Go ahead, PJ.
They solid, though. I ain't gonna lie. They solid. It's a lot of solid teams, man. I've been watching Army and Navy. And
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, that's option.
Man, they always solid. They need to break them on.
No, it's just crazy though to see these teams ranked.
They run it.
Go ahead.
They running it a lot different though, bro. I seen Navy get into the gun. You don't never see them get into that.
No, that's facts. We ain't never seen Navy get out in the gun. So it's a lot of fun teams to watch.
I mean, like with Texas, bro. Texas is good, man. I just want one more thing to say, bro, and I'm gonna leave it alone after this, bro.
Go ahead.
You can tell this has been on my heart for the last few days. But if your team not ranked ahead of us, I'm not trying to hear it, bro. And definitely if we already smacked y'all. like the OU fans, we just smacked y'all last week. I have no reason to be in the Texas chat saying anything, bro. You know, even with the Aggie fans, bro, like the Aggie fans, this is what they like third time actually leading in the SEC, and y'all been in the league for 13 years. Y'all are trash. Y'all are trash. And y'all finna lose against LSU this Saturday. So I don't understand like all these teams that's coming out the woodwork saying something about us, bro. Whenever our team already either smacked y'all team or we would smash y'all team if we played y'all. So if your team is not either Oregon, Georgia, who else in front of us, bro? Oregon, Georgia, Penn State, and
Ohio State.
I don't even know who the other team. But it don't even matter. Whoever, if your team is not those 4 teams that's in front of us, because we number 5 right now, you shouldn't be saying anything to us.
No, that's true, man. Texas got
2 of the last 3 now. All right.
Texas got a lot going for them right now. I think they'll still be okay. Their schedule is going to help them out if they can just get past this Vanderbilt game, and they'll have A&M to close out the end of the season, so they'll be able to shut up some of those fans if they go out there and get a dub. It is at College Station, so that game is going. I mean, that's going to be a super good game. I honestly can't wait to see that one, and I think that's over one of the breaks, like right after Thanksgiving or something like that. So that's going to be a real good game out there. But Texas still has hope. Georgia, they're right back in the same position where they started, man. They're right at number 2 behind Oregon. Hopefully Oregon wins out, but if they don't, Georgia's going to be sitting right back in number 1, even after all the back and forth people have had about them all year long. So stay tuned, folks. We got to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of this crazy stuff we've seen in the NFL over this last weekend. We saw Russell Wilson get back into a starting role, and then they blow out the Jets. Like I said at the beginning of the show, all the stuff that's crazy that's happened, and one thing still remains the same, and it's that the Jets suck. So we'll talk about that a little bit, even though they got Devontae Adams. Hour number 2, we'll talk a little bit about the WNBA Finals. We'll talk about NBA season starting tomorrow. And we'll close it out and talk about these doubleheaders we got on Monday Night Football. So stay locked in and stay right here, folks. We'll be right back after this break. You're watching Centex Primetime on Centex Sports TV and listening on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. We'll be right back.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all know.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
That's right, sports fans.
About to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis, your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Welcome back into Centex Prime Time. Happy Monday, everybody out there. As always, go over to YouTube, Centex Sports Network, Centex Sports TV, and hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell so you can get notified every time that we go live, 5 to 7 weekdays. You can hear us come on here and debate about some sports. Or you can download the app on the Google Play Store or Apple Store, Centex Sports 1 on there. So, folks, just got done talking about that Texas and Georgia matchup this last weekend, how that's changed and shaking up college football. Want to jump over to some NFL. I know we have a Monday night doubleheader tonight, and we'll touch on that later in hour number 2. But we saw a lot of good games this past weekend. A lot of good matchups this last weekend. We seen the 2-time Super Bowl champs find another way to win over the 49ers. We saw the two young quarterbacks of the future, and C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love dueling it out. The Packers end up coming up with a big win over the Texans. That now moves the Texans to 5-2. It moves the Packers to 5-2. We saw Saquon Barkley get his revenge game. We saw the Panthers still being horrible. That's the last time I'm going to mention the Panthers. I ain't want to say nothing too much. I'm just going to say they got blown out again, even by backup. Marcus Mariota came in and started blowing them out too. Like it's getting bad, man. But I'm not going to spend any time. Don't worry, y'all. Not going to spend any time talking about the Panthers and what they got going on. But a lot of good games. Like I said, one of the top ones, though, was that Detroit Lions game versus the Minnesota Vikings, man. That was a great game. It came all the way down to the end. And I want to start there because I try to tell y'all. See, I'm going to start pulling down my Nostradamus thing with the little globe and all that while I'm seeing the future. I tried to tell y'all about this Detroit team and how it was going to go against Minnesota. I picked them, even on my parlay. Even though I don't want to talk about my parlay, I had one of the worst weekends in parlay history. Not because I got everything wrong, but because I had an 8-leg parlay that was completely right all the way until Utah decided they wanted to blow it up at the very end. So I don't even want to talk about that. But I tried to tell you about this Detroit Lions versus this Minnesota Vikings, man. I know the Vikings are good. They're still a good team. They're not better than Detroit. And I was trying to tell y'all that. It's not y'all are starting to catch on now. Y'all are starting to listen to me. I'm going to start posting some more of my parlays and stuff so y'all can see that I really got the script out here and I really know what's going on. So Detroit Lions ended up getting the win 31-29 over the Minnesota Vikings in a big-time game. Another thing I try to tell y'all about, even though the Cowboys didn't play this week, but we are the flagship station here on 94.5 FM for the Dallas Cowboys here in Central Texas. I try to tell y'all Jared Goff is better than him. That's saying this game proved it. I'm saying Jared Goff's career has proved that he's better than Dak Prescott. And once again, he went out here and had another good game, Jared Goff, against the Vikings. Although it be in another dome, Rocky keeps telling me, when it's perfect weather and all this stuff is when they go out there and get wins. That may be true. But regardless of that, Jared Goff had another really good game and goes out there, gets a win on the road at Minnesota against a team that was undefeated. Jared Goff goes 22 for 25, 280 yards, no picks, 2 touchdowns. I think in the first half, he ended the first half 13 for 13. Jahmyr Gibbs hit somebody with one of the dumbest moves that made somebody almost tear their ACL to score a touchdown on a 45-yard touchdown. Usually you see people make a move and make somebody miss, and it's just, they'll pick up 10, 15. He goes for 50 yards and a TD after he sends you out of bounds, no contact. Crazy work. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches, 112 yards, 1 TD, even hit him over the top on a post route for George Pickens and all the other people agreeing that Amon-Ra is a slot merchant. Shows that he can get action in other places besides the slot. Jahmyr Gibbs, like I said, he's starting to emerge as one of the better backs in the league, man. I think he's special. And Jared Goff showing that he's going to go out there and get it done. when it's time to get it done, Jared Goff goes out there and gets it done. And he did once again against this team. Now, the Vikings are still good. Vikings are actually really good. Jettis still had another 7 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Had a crazy touchdown where he mossed the dude. That was pretty nice. Aaron Jones had that first explosive run, 14 carries, 93 yards. Sam Darnold, 22 of 27, 259 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. So he played good out there as well. But I think Detroit is better, and they showed it. They came out here and got a win. Quay, I'll start with you, man. What do you think about Detroit coming out here and getting a win and ending Minnesota's win streak?
Remember, I called it. I said it's going to be game of the week.
Yeah, you did.
And then, boom, it definitely proved that Jared Goff got to stop. He dropped a dime to end the game.
Yeah.
Like, he played
a super dime to end the game.
Come on, bro. Like, he plays with the system. He does it right. It doesn't, bro. It ain't. He ain't trying to be better than everybody. He's just doing exactly what his coach asked. And then, bro, when the pressure get on, he actually executes. Bro, I don't know what we got to see. If we take away stats and just look at film on 3rd and 4th down, bro, Jared Goff a dog, bro. Like, I don't know what bro, it was a great game. The Vikings not a fluke, though. They held their own, but at the end
they're not a fluke. I agree.
But at the end of the day, no Campbell going for the gusto.
Yeah.
He's trying to get a dub. He ain't trying to waste no time. He ain't trying to do nothing. He got the team. Jameer Gibbs, that move, what you said, I had never seen the NFL get hit. An NFL safety get hit with that on a good defense. Like, I ain't never seen a man, bro. He didn't get to touch this man at all. I was like, bro, did he get a different gear?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, man. Bro, I don't know, man. The line's scary, bro. Losing Hutchinson hurt, but they still scary.
Even with Hutchinson hurt, they, like you said, they still found a way to go out there and make plays. With their best player being hurt, they only got 4 sacks. Now, some of those were coverage sacks. I watched the game. Some of those were coverage sacks. They ended up getting a sack after like 4 or 5 seconds into the play. But still, you're still able to get production from your front seven some kind of way. And then your second best player, who was emerging as your second best player on defense, and Brian Branch out of Alabama, had a good season last year before he got hurt and has been playing phenomenal so far this year, goes out there and gets a crazy pick. Then he had that fumble where he picked up the fumble that ended up getting called back and took that to the house, but that got called back. So he is stepping up, and he's becoming a for real playmaker out there. I've been liking Kirby Joseph at the other safety spot. The DBs are still, Taron Arnold, he's young, so I'm going to give him time. But that touchdown to that Aaron Jones scored, that was completely his fault. I don't even know. He crashed on the inside like he's not a corner.
He's supposed to be the last boundary. He's supposed to be the last. First, he was done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know what he was doing. Why are you crashing the B gap, bro? You're a corner. I don't know who told you otherwise, but why are you crashing inside like that? You're supposed to be the last. You're supposed to set the edge, bro. You're a corner. You're the ultimate edge. You're literally the edge of the defense. I don't know what he was doing right there, but their DBs are going to get better. I like Brian Branch and what he can do, and obviously their offense. Jared Goff knows how to run an offense. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying Jared Goff is Tom Brady, but he do some stuff like 0-2 Tom Brady, 0-3 Tom Brady. He do some stuff like that. So I will say that. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, man, it's a two-headed running attack with him and David Montgomery, but Jahmyr Gibbs is clearly better than Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is clearly better than a lot of people. Like Quay said, he got another gear. After you hit a dude with a move and make him fall out of bounds without touching him, and then you still can take off on everybody else, man, Jahmyr Gibbs is special. PJ, what do you think about this game, man? Detroit versus Minnesota on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I love this game. I agree with you, though, bro. From the beginning, I was saying Detroit was going to beat the Vikings this Sunday. But what I love about this, man, their division is deep.
Best division in football.
If you look at their division, bro, their division is real deep. Yeah, any of these teams can win that division. Any of them. I mean, you see the Packers got them a good win. The Bears, they trending up right now. And even with this loss, the Vikings, they still trending up too. Detroit to me is, they above everybody, but at the same time, I mean, they can lose against anybody in their division too. But I really, really, really like this Detroit team. It's just something about these guys, bro. I just like them. I love their head coach. You know, he from straight out of Glen Rose, you know, not too far from where we at.
Facts.
So, I don't know. I just love the culture. I love the culture that they got on the team. I love a lot of the players that's on their team. A lot of these guys I've been watching. I mean, guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameer Gibbs. Even Jared Goff, bro. Like, I remember when he was at St. John Bosco. So, like, I've been watching a lot of the guys that's on that Detroit team. I remember when these guys was in high school, when we were in high school, and playing. So, I really like this team. I think that the next game, because they got to play the Vikings twice.
Yep.
So I feel like the next game possibly might be even better than this one. You know, and who's to say, you know, the Vikings might come out with that win. I'm going to give Jared Goff a shout-out too, though, bro.
Got to.
I'm going to go ahead and say, man, his career is better than Dak's, bro. I got to go ahead and say that I was on edge at first. I ain't going to lie, when y'all first said that at the beginning of the year, but nah, it is. It is. And there's no diss to Dak. Like I said earlier,
no
Dak
diss.
He's an 8th-year starter in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and he you know, he got his bag. You feel me? Even though I don't agree with how much money that we paid him. But so he got his bag. I ain't trying to get off subject, man. But you know, just 3 hours ago, I looked at Derrick Henry's Instagram, and he was running hills right over here at SMU football stadium. And it pissed me off all over again because all he had to do was get his man 17 M's?
For 2 years.
All he had to do was give him 17 M's, bro. He could have been right here. He stay in Dallas. For 2, he stay up here. We couldn't pay him. And he trained right here down the street where I stay at SMU Stadium. It's just crazy. But to get back on subject, though, yeah, man, Jared Goff is that guy, bro, and he got this team honestly looking like one of the best teams in the league. I honestly, I will argue that with anybody. I do think that they're one of the best teams in the league. You could say the Chiefs maybe for sure. You know, if anybody beats the Chiefs, you can keep them up at the top. But this Detroit Lions team, I mean, they can play up against anybody.
No, that's facts. That's facts. And if Aiden Hutchinson wasn't hurt, man, it would be tough for me to pick against this Detroit team if Aiden Hutchinson did not get hurt. Like, I'm talking about to go all the way, no matter who they played. Because what he brought to their defense and what this offense is able to do, they can beat you in multiple styles. If Jared Goff is out here having multiple games with barely any incompletions, man, and still throwing for over 200-something yards, that's got to be something. That's got to be something. Jared Goff got plenty of haters, but that's got to be something, y'all. That's got to be something that somebody keeps doing this consistently. So if I only won't pick them because Aiden Hutchinson is hurt, but, man, this team is still going to be dangerous. And they got 1 week left to get in the trade market, man. They got to go get Zadarius Smith out of Cleveland or somebody like that can bring some more to the edge because this team is too good to throw away a season because one of your best players or your best player ended up getting hurt in Aiden Hutchinson. And, PJ, you had a perfect segue because you talked about the Chiefs, and we're about to go to break. But right before we go to break, I want to talk about the Chiefs, man, getting the win over the 49ers. Now, this was a rough game. This was a back-and-forth game. Chiefs had the lead the whole time, but there's multiple times in the game that they've started getting some momentum, that the 49ers started getting momentum in this game. Chiefs ended up winning this one 28-18 as they beat the 49ers. A lot of that, though, man, is the 49ers, they're just not healthy, bro. They're just not healthy. They're not healthy. When you're playing with your fourth best receiver, your fourth best, not your second, not even your third. And we just seen the news now that Brandon Ayuk is probably going to be out for the season, man. So that's always tough to hear, especially after he just got paid and what you were expecting for them to be able to do this season. That's always tough to hear that. But with Debo being out, Brandon Ayuk ends up getting hurt, out for the season now. Jawan Jennings was already hurt coming into this game. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough. And the only problem I do have with the 49ers, because when you're playing that shorthanded, man, and still haven't seen C-Mac out there so far this year, only problem I do have with that is with some of the weapons being hurt, we're starting to see who Brock Purdy is, man. It just is what it is. Quay, I know you're a Niners fan, and I'm going to let you get on here and respond, but we're starting to see who Brock Purdy is. And multiple, I text y'all in the chat yesterday, he underthrew 2 touchdowns. They ended up getting field goals on both those drives. That one to Kittle was a touchdown. He got 8 yards of separation on dude. That long pass to Cowing, I think it was, that was a touchdown. That was a touchdown that he just underthrew. That's 2 touchdowns you take off the board and you lose by 10 points. It's tough, man. It's tough when you think about that. And Purdy's got to get it together. Even in moments in this game, we've seen him lock back into being, okay, I'm just going to run the play. I'm just going to do what's called. But with his arm lacking the way he did, with him trying to force the ball on that one, that was a nasty interception on the goal line. Why are you trying to force that in between 2 players to a 5th-string receiver playing one of the best defenses in the league? Like, come on, bro. You don't got to do that. You don't got to do that. Mahomes and the Chiefs, they keep finding a way to win. I cannot talk about the Chiefs. I will say this, though, and I seen somebody say this a while ago. I will say this, that the Chiefs, they're winning, but they're not playing good. They're not playing good, and this is similar to what we saw when the Eagles were 10-1 and everybody was saying they're not playing good. Yeah, they're undefeated, but they're not playing good right now. And they went out there and ended up ending the season the way they did. Not saying the Chiefs are going to do that. I'm just saying the Chiefs are not playing good right now. And they keep getting ways to win, but it's ugly. Mahomes did not look good yesterday. It's just what it is. 154 yards, 2 picks, no touchdown. He didn't look great. So that part just is what it is. I'll let you respond to this quickly before we go to break. Quay, what did you think about the Niners and Chiefs game yesterday?
First of all, it was terrible. Just to be honest, Patrick Mahomes did play terrible. He was human as possible.
Yeah.
Our defense could do everything we could do. Everybody's getting hurt. A lot of even the Brandon Ayuk kids too get hurt. It was kind of Purdy, a bad ball. I don't know. He was drunk. Him and Mahomes were drunk. They went to the same bar before the game, but defense just showed who they were, and they just had, bro, playing down to your 4th receiver and your best.
No, that's facts. Your 4th receiver is your leading receiver right now because the first 3 get hurt.
So Purcell didn't have any. He didn't have any separation. He looked like he just came back from getting shot. We didn't even have anybody. We had no hope. And like you said, you kept pointing out he did underthrow a lot of passes, bro. He underthrew a lot of passes. He just wasn't in sync. He doesn't, like you said, he looks very, very regular. He looked like the last pick when he doesn't have this great talent around him. And like the only receiver that did give separation was Kittle. It was just a bad game for us, but our defense showed how regular Patrick Mahomes has been. Like you said, they're not playing great. They do look like the Eagles from last year's stretch towards the end, and where they almost lost. What they lose, like 7 in a row.
Yeah.
So you're making a great point with that because that game wasn't pretty at all. Patrick Mahomes' quarterback passer rating was like a 35.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a good game for either one of them. But Purdy's human, and Purdy's too human. Then Patrick Mahomes showed he was regular, but they had some Miller Lights before the game, man.
Yeah, I don't understand what was going on. Both of them were just making throws like, "Hey, bro, what are y'all doing?" And for the Chiefs, Mahomes, that ain't got nothing to do with. This is who you got for the rest of the season, unless y'all go get a trade. But Purdy got put down to his last 3 receivers on the roster. This is who you started the game with, Mahomes. What are you doing, bro? All I'm saying is, yeah, this to the Chiefs. Yeah, they're undefeated. And it's great to win no matter how you win in the NFL. It's hard to win. But you keep looking like this week in and week out. I'm telling y'all, they're not holding that Lombardi up at the end of the year. I'm going to stand on it. I said it at the beginning of the year. I'm going to keep standing on it. They're not going to three-peat. That'll make them sorry. That'll make them suck. They're going to be one of the best dynasties in NFL history. Mahomes is going to go down as one of the best players in NFL history. Andy Reid is already one of the best coaches in NFL history. They're just not going to win it this year. And each week we'll keep seeing them play like this. It's not going to end good. Real quick, PJ, I'll let you go respond. Niners and Chiefs, man, what'd you think about this game yesterday?
Yeah, Brock Purdy, you could tell, man, that he's struggling a little bit. Not even really just a little bit. I'll say a lot for sure. Yesterday, just guys are hurt, and guys that I feel that he's used to. He has a lot of connections with, you know what I mean? Guys like Debo, guys like Brandon Ayuk. But, I mean, the supporting cast wasn't really helping them as well, so that plays a huge part into it too. Personally, man, when it comes to the Chiefs, I ain't gonna lie, man, and I've been thinking this for a while. Definitely after I watched the Super Bowl this earlier this year. The refs or something, bro, gotta be on payroll.
They on payroll. You ain't lying.
To the Chiefs. And I really don't like to think like that. Bro, but it be certain calls, man, and it's becoming consistent though. Like it's not a coincidence anymore, bro. Like it's certain calls that, like Trent Williams getting ejected out the game
crazy
yesterday, it really did piss me off. And I'm not even a 49ers fan, but it pissed me off though, bro, because
Come on, bro.
number 6 punched him.
Yeah.
He hit him first. And so bro just got up and hit him back. Why he get ejected? Yeah, they can say, oh well, they both got penalties. They offset it. It don't matter. They took Trent Williams out the game, and that's honestly the biggest. He's like the heart and soul of the offense for sure right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So y'all took their heart and soul of the offense out the game for a little punch. Like it don't make no sense. And then you got it don't make no sense, bro. I'm getting in my feelings like I'm a fan, but it's just stupid because now you got Mahomes out here faking like he's finna go out of bounds just to stay inbounds. Like I wish that we were still in the same football like we was when we was growing up, because they're getting killed. He can do something like that. He can take advantage of stuff like that and do something like that because he know nobody can take his head off.
Now, that's facts.
If he knew somebody was gonna come take his head off, he going out of bounds. He wouldn't even be running like that.
Yeah, I gotta agree. On that point, I gotta agree.
Man, you can thank him for that. It's something like it don't make no sense, bro. Like I don't get it, and then I'm just kind of tired of the and I like the Chiefs, man. I like the team and everything. They I've always liked the Chiefs as far as the team, but it's just starting to become very apparent that the referees have a lot of calls that are going their way whenever you play them.
Yeah, I don't like to think like that, bro. But
start having people saying something about it and not just saying.
Yeah, I don't like to think like that, but man, I'm agreeing with you. I think it's a problem.
Coaches say something about it soon.
Yeah, they should, and they should say something about it soon, because at what point is it going to be too obvious? I said it at the beginning of the year. I said it like you said in the Super Bowl. Since the Super Bowl, it seems like the refs just every time it can start getting close, they're gonna have a play here and there that's gonna be a little bit like, hey, what's going on? And to your Patrick Mahomes point, because we gotta go to break, about him running on that sideline. When that happened, I thought about the same thing. I said he's only doing that because he knows if he would have stayed on that sideline and fake like he was going to stay in and somebody hit him, that player's getting ejected. This is Mahomes we're talking about. They getting ejected. But if he would have been out there with a Cam Chancellor or Earl Thomas, a Sean Taylor, a John Lynch, hey, bro, you wouldn't have been fiddle-faddling on that sideline like that and then breaking off for an extra 50 yards after that. Like, that kind of stuff isn't going to be tolerated, and I'm not going to be shocked if somebody try to knock his block off in one of these next games, because you can't. He knows what he's doing. He knows now that it used to be if you're out of bounds you can't hit them, but now it's if they're looking like they're going to go out of bounds you can't hit them. So he looked like he was going to go out of bounds and then ran for an extra 40 yards. So that's going to end up coming back to bite him later on in the year. So I agree with your point on that one, but we got some more stuff we got to talk about coming up, folks. We got to go to a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about the WNBA Finals last night, because we just talked about refs, and the refs played a part in that game too. I'm going to talk about the NBA season starting tomorrow, and Tua on his way coming back as well from his head injury. So we got a lot to talk about in hour number 2. Stay locked in and stay right here on Centex Primetime. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all know.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
The East Waco Empowerment Project, along with City Center Waco, is hosting WeBo, Workshop and Business Opportunities, to help create more entrepreneurs. Business owners like Aniceto Charles of True Jamaica Restaurant and Carla Dotson of Boardwalk on Elm attended WeBo to develop their business ideas into successful Black-owned businesses right in the heart of East Waco. WeBo can also help you turn your side hustle or business idea into the next thriving Black-owned business in our community. If you would like to attend this 10-week intense entrepreneurial workshop, go to WeBoWaco.org. That's WIBO Waco.org. Space.
It's the family feels for me. The banana pudding peach cobbler make you want to holler. For me, it's the candy yams, mac and cheese, beef tips, pork tips and rice, collard greens. It's the sweet potato pie, sweetie. Fried chicken you've been missing, the lemon sweet tea dressing on Sundays when you all dressed up. Chest pie, buttermilk, and pound cake. Cornbread with butter just dripping, always fresh baked. If you need Southern style, soul food, home cooked meals that you can feel. Chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie, 719 South 11th Street. Sassy's, come on by.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
Truly, you are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Well, start it up. Let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour number 2 here on Centex Prime Time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today, whether that be on Facebook, on YouTube, Centex Sports TV on YouTube, or on Infinity Sports Radio Central Texas. As always, download the app Centex Sports 1 on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store to be able to listen to this content weekdays 5 to 7 p.m. Listen to us chop it up about sports. Not only sports in Central Texas, but from all around the nation. Thanks, everybody, for joining in today with us here in hour number 2. Some of you guys just getting off of work. Some of you guys headed to work. As always, thank you guys for joining in with us. If you want to jump into the chat, get in on the conversation, go over to YouTube, Centex Sports Network and Centex Sports TV. Jump on the live, man. Get in the chat. Let us know if we tripping on some of these topics. Hour number 1, we just got done talking about the Longhorns falling to the Georgia Bulldogs. Talked about the Chiefs finding a way to win, whether that be with some ref help or not. We talked about Minnesota Vikings finally losing the game and Detroit football looking like a real thing out there And the NFC North, how crazy that is. We didn't even get a chance to talk about my Texans losing to the Green Bay Packers. That might be on purpose since I'm the one picking the topics right now. But here, hour number 2, we always started off with some quick takes, man. Different storylines going on around the sports world. And I got to start with the WNBA Finals last night, Game 5, which is like Game 7 for the regular NBA Finals. The New York Liberty won the finals. First time in 30 or 40 years, I think it is. 30, well, it can't be 40 years. I don't think the WNBA has been around 40 years. First time they're winning. They built this super team a couple of years ago. They drafted Sabrina Ionescu. They got Stewie to leave Seattle and come over there, Jonquel Jones. And they put this project together, and it paid off. It took a couple years. Last year they lost in the finals to the Las Vegas Aces, who got the best player in the WNBA, in Asia Wilson. This year they got a chance to get their get back. They beat Vegas in the playoffs and pulled off a win last night. And I definitely got to shout them out. I love watching Stewie play. I like watching Sabrina Ionescu play as well for the New York Liberty. But I did watch the game. I turned off that Jets and Steelers game because who cares? I mean, who cares? That game was as mid as it gets, man. I'm tired of watching the Jets at this point, and I'm tired of talking about them. Now they made the trade, they fired the coach, did all this. They still suck, so I'm done talking about the Jets, y'all. But the New York Liberty, a team in New York that is actually winning, as they won the championship last night, they got some assistance from the ref, though. I'm not going to lie. Now, I understand what the WNBA is doing. All these eyes are on you. This is the biggest year they've had in WNBA history. All the numbers, all the metrics, this is the biggest year they had in WNBA history, even though they still ended up losing money. That's a topic for a whole nother day for all these people. Why don't they get paid as much as NBA players? That's why. You had your biggest season you've had so far, and the owners are still down $40 million. But that, like I said, that's another topic for another day. They wanted New York to win this, man, because it looks better. You're having this amazing season. Caitlin Clark comes in. Angel Reese comes in. They bring all these eyes to the WNBA. And it looks way better when a New York team wins instead of the Minnesota Lynx, who would have won their 5th title, by the way. This is a team that always is winners. Ever since they had my favorite player of all time, Maya Moore, winning championships for them. They didn't want Minnesota to win that. It comes all the way down to the last minutes of the game. Stewie goes to the free throw line, misses 2 free throws. The team ends up getting the rebound. They get a stop on the other end. They're down by 2 points. New York comes down to get a ball to Breonna Stewart, is who I'm talking about when I keep saying Stewie. By the way, everybody, Breonna Stewart. She comes down, throws up some BS, honestly, misses bad, and all of a sudden it's a foul call. One of the worst foul calls I've ever seen. That ended up letting them tie the game up. Eventually, New York goes into overtime and wins the game. Minnesota's supposed to be the champion. Minnesota Lynx is supposed to have their 5th championship. And, I don't talk about the WNBA a lot on here. I do when I can. And but that was a robbery. I like New York better. I like their players better. Sabrina Ionescu, that 3-point assassin that she is. She lives and dies on the 3-pointer, and that's what hurts her, because that same 3 that ended up winning them a game in Game 3, she was like 1 for 11 or something like that in the game, this past game, and she was just chunking threes up at the end, just trying to hope something went in, and it didn't work. Breonna Stewart, honestly, was getting locked up. In that last minute, they ended up calling a foul, man. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't know if y'all got a chance to watch the game or not, but I don't like the refs interfering, man. Let whoever's supposed to win. I know all the money's going towards New York, and y'all trying to have y'all want to have a nice parade out there in New York with a bunch of eyes on it. But let them people in Minnesota have it. It's Minnesota. They don't got a lot of other stuff going on. New York got Broadway and all this other stuff. It's not a lot going on in Minnesota. Let them have this championship, bro. And it's the WNBA. They ain't gonna win one in the NFL. They ain't gonna win one in the MLB. Let them. They definitely ain't gonna win one in the NBA. Shout out Ant-Man. They ain't gonna win one in the NBA. So go ahead and let them have this one with the WNBA, man. I'm not a fan of that. PJ, did you get to see any of that? What'd you say?
You don't think Ant gonna get them one day?
Nah, man. Ant gonna end up going to Atlanta, and that's when they'll finally win. He ain't gonna win in Minnesota. It's too cold. It's too cold.
Bro, I think one day.
I don't know when that day gonna be. It ain't gonna be with the team they got now. They got Rudy Gobert, the second best player. It ain't gonna be with that team. Maybe when they reshuffle the cards a little bit, they'll be able to come out and get somebody. But yeah, I just wanted to start with that, fellas, before we got into it. Before we go to NFL, back to the NFL. Oh, go ahead.
Before you go to NFL.
Yeah, go ahead.
I tried to watch that game, Jalen. It's just like they got a little dunk or something, bro. I ain't no respect to the ladies, bro. Like, I be trying, like, it's a lot of the layup packages are so YMCA. Like, and I love y'all, but like, come on, man. Like, I don't know, man. I tried, just like, then I seen a stat where they lost $40 million.
Yeah, bro. 40 after all this that happened. This is the most they've done in revenue. It's up.
Ever.
Yeah, ever. By a lot, though. By a lot. It's up by a lot.
Season and you lose, bro. That don't make sense, man.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Y'all gotta put some kindergarten to get a middle schooler drafted or something. Come on, man. Y'all gotta pull a Travis Hunter after 6th grade, and I don't know, bro. Come on, what can they do, bro? They got the best shooter we've ever seen as a female, and they still, I don't know, ladies. Y'all gotta start dunking. A windmill. I promise. Somebody get the dunk, man. They get a baby Zion. Come on, man. Somebody daddy gotta be.
They got to lower the rim to 9 feet, like Tracy McGrady said. Now, they tried to kill T-Mac after he said that. He was just trying to help y'all out, though, bro. Lower that rim to 9 feet so we can see Breonna Stewart come down the lane and bang on somebody. Then it'll be a little more interesting out there. Not saying I ain't interested. I'm just saying if you want to help fans like Quay that need a little something extra to watch when they're watching the game, lower that rim to 9 feet, man. It wouldn't hurt. That's all I'm saying. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. But shout out to the New York Liberty, though, bro. Y'all did your thing, and y'all had a great season. I don't want to let that moment take away from your great season that y'all had. You still had a great season overall. I just think Minnesota should have won that game. They won it fair and square, honestly, until the refs had to get involved. But hey, it makes sense. You already losing $40 million. You ain't finna. If you can help get some revenue by letting New York win, you gonna pull whatever strings you can. So hey, I ain't mad at your WNBA. I see your game. I recognize your game. I respect it. Before we move on back to the NFL, NBA season starts tomorrow, man. Quay, you was on here with me last week and asked you a little bit about it, but I just got to ask, man, what are some of the storylines that y'all are excited to see coming up tomorrow? NBA season starts tomorrow. I know LeBron is playing because they're already playing. Yeah, they're playing the Timberwolves, and Boston is playing the Knicks. I don't know. We could have got a better game than Boston and New York to open up the season, but hey, Boston's the champs. I get it. Even though they play boring, nobody wants to see that. And the Knicks is just going to ISO Jalen Brunson a bunch out there. So we got the Knicks and Boston starting it off, and then the Lakers, Minnesota starting it off. Any storylines that y'all are particularly excited to see? I know I'm excited to watch my Rockets. We just signed Şengün to a 5-year, $185 million deal. We just signed Jalen Green to a 3-year, $106 million extension. So we locking in with the guys, man. We got Reed Shepherd out there looking like Jerry West. He better than Jerry West. I'm just going to make everybody mad as NBA season starts. They was dribbling with one hand back then. Reed Shepherd ain't played no minutes in the NBA. He already better than Jerry West. But that's besides the point. We got the next Jerry West out there with Reed Shepherd. I'm excited to watch my Rockets, man. What's something y'all excited to see? Quay, I'll start with you for this NBA season starting up. I think your mic is muted. We'll come back to you, Quay. Hold on. We'll come back to you. PJ, what's something you excited to see NBA season just starting up tomorrow?
Man, I'm like you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Rockets gonna do. You know, we've been down for a little second. You know, I feel like it's due time for us to be some type of good.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this year's gonna be one of them years for us. I'm also looking towards the Timberwolves, man. I really want to see how he gonna come into this season. Definitely with the pieces that they acquired this year, they had a really good draft. I feel like they had honestly one of the best drafts out of anybody in the NBA, to be honest. So I'm really gonna look forward to them playing the Lakers tomorrow. I'm not too big on the Lakers this year. I really don't care to see Bronny and LeBron on the court together.
You won't. Bronny not gonna be on the court, so you ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, he ain't gonna. So I'm not too big on them, man. To be honest, I love LeBron. That's my GOAT for sure. But I'm kind of ready for bro to go ahead and retire. I just don't think that it's.
Boy, PJ.
I don't think it's gonna work anymore. So it's different times. You know what I mean? Like it's just different times, bro. He gonna keep on racking up, his stats and everything like that. But I don't see any team. It doesn't matter who y'all put on that team with LeBron. I don't see nobody really helping to get this Lakers squad to a championship. They pretty much equivalent to the Dallas Cowboys at this point in the NBA to me. They play for a lot of clicks and not actually trying to be, champions, bro. So I'm really just ready for bro to go ahead and retire. He don't got nothing to prove for me. Like, he ain't got anything to prove for me. I feel like he the GOAT in my eyes. You know what I mean? And I'm listening to anybody who think otherwise and say maybe like Michael Jordan. That's the only. If you coming with Kobe.
Yeah, stop it.
Kobe
yeah, stop it, man. Stop. Hey, we're not listening to none of the Kobe stuff, bro. We knew where Kobe was at. Kobe's one of the best, but we're not listening to no Kobe GOAT stuff. So I'm with you. It's MJ or Kareem or be quiet. We ain't talking about nobody else. But I get what you're saying about Bron though, and how they're really not really gonna win a championship. Let's just be honest. I am excited to see what JJ Redick can do as a coach though. I am excited to see how he can open up his offense.
Can he even coach? Like, bro, their offense was terrible in the preseason.
It was, but I think Redick is gonna get him some better plays. He knows how to open up shooters more than Darvin Ham. So I don't think is their offense gonna be the best in the league? No. Is he gonna do better offensively than Darvin Ham? Definitely. Yeah, Darvin Ham was running some lineup. Darvin Ham was having Cam Reddish out there starting at the 2. Cam Reddish can't make a free throw. Why is he the starting shooting guard? Shooting guards are there to shoot.
Oh, did you see the 2 threes he put up back to back? They were terrible.
Come on, man. Like let's stop. Darvin Ham was tripping, bro. And shout out Taurean Prince. He won my favorite Baylor players of all time. But you can't start Cam Reddish and Taurean Prince with Bron and Anthony Davis out there. There's just not enough shooting. That doesn't even make spacing sense. And he did it for like 40 games. And some of the times Vando will be in that lineup too. That's crazy. So I think he'll do better than that. But Quay, what's something you're looking forward to seeing this NBA season coming up? I think Mike went back to being muted, so we'll come back to you on that one. But yeah, it's a lot of good storylines coming on in the NBA season, man. Moving forward, like we said, it starts tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll dive in a little bit further and talk about some of these divisions, some of these players who we think is going to do what coming up in this next year. But I'm definitely excited, and it's the best time of the year. We got NBA, the NBA is starting, NFL is in right, and everybody's getting into form, and we know what teams are starting to look like now in the NFL. And then the MLB, you got the World Series going on at the same time. Then it's Yankees versus Dodgers. You can't ask for a better World Series than that. So best time of the year, in my opinion, in sports. Going back to football, fellas, before we jump into these games tonight and talk about some more of these games on Sunday, I've seen the news that Tua, everybody's saying that Tua's coming back now, and he's making his way to getting back in there. He's showing no symptoms. He's symptom-free right now. He can come back in any day. I've seen the news, though, that he said he doesn't want to wear any of those Guardian cap things that the NFL has made for moments like this. He said he doesn't want to wear them, and it's just because of his personal choice. No real reason. He didn't say he couldn't see or he felt slow or anything like that. Just his personal choice. He don't want to wear them. Hey, what's wrong with dude, man? Does dude like getting hurt? I don't know what his problem is at this point. It's like he just enjoys going against the grain, and I'm not sure why. I don't know what his problem is. What you mean you don't want to wear the Guardian cap, bro? Your egg has been scrambled on national television multiple times, bro. Multiple times. They trying to help you out. They said it like you just like they're being mean or something. They trying to help you, bro. And I ain't wearing that Guardian cap, bro. I don't rock with that. Why? You have a championship level team and they can't do anything because you can't play because you keep getting body slammed on the field. Like, bro, something's gotta change. You're gonna keep getting these concussions, bro, and gonna end up not being able to play anymore. Or something worse than that. So you gotta change something, bro. They're trying to help you with these Guardian cap things that the league has implemented. Why don't you just wear it? You talking I don't want to wear it as my personal choice. I feel like I can keep playing however long. All right, bro. All right, we ain't gonna keep saying this stuff to you. We're only gonna give you this advice, but so many times, bro. You the one that's had all these things happen to you. This is your future. You got kids. You got a family, bro. You got other stuff you got to worry about and other stuff you got to think about. You can't I don't know what his deal was. I don't know why it was such a hard stance on the Guardian cap thing. Like, nah, I ain't doing that. Like, bro, what you mean? You're out for a reason right now. And if you get another hit, you might be out for good. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, bro. So you should be taking every precaution possible to try to prevent that from happening. PJ, what do you think about what Tua said without this Guardian cap thing? And then what do you think about him coming back to try to help the Dolphins for the rest of this season?
Yeah, that's that CTE kicking in early. I mean, you know, to be honest, like him being able to play again or just, you know, that should be the least of his worries. He needs to be worrying about if he going to remember his kids.
Yeah.
Because he get one more hit. See, the thing about it is because I'm mad at I feel like I'm mad at him too, but I'm also mad at just how the Dolphins are running it. The thing about it is there's something cervical that's going on with him. I don't know if it's whether it's cervical or it's a parietal issue or an occipital issue. Like these are all parts of your brain. It can even be a frontal lobe problem. You just don't know. That all of those are very, very sensitive areas in your body. You know, it could be something going on with this mastoid process. Like it's just something that's going on with him where if he takes one hit, he just seizures out.
Yeah.
Like he just seizures out, bro. Like whether it's just we seen it last time. It was a little tap. He didn't even get hit for real. And it's he's on the ground not moving.
Yeah.
So if they trying to I don't care nobody care at this point, bro, on how it's gonna look with you out there with the little shield on. This is something that out of anybody in the league, you need that the most out of anybody. So why not play it safe and just wear it? It don't matter what it's gonna look like. It don't matter if you don't want to do it. This is not something that you should be going in with your feelings like, oh, well, I don't want to do it, because this is something that you should be doing. This is something that you need to do, because we're talking about your health. You know, and with the Dolphins, bro, it's to me, it's too late for them to make a comeback. I don't see them, even if he does come back out. And the thing about it is he's a liability. Regardless, Tua is a liability. So, you know, even if he does come back and, yeah, y'all might win, your first 2 or 3 games that he's back, at any moment he can get hit and it's over.
Yeah.
So I don't really get what I don't understand that, you know. Like I said, I feel like it's more of a feelings type thing. It's more of a personal thing. Like he probably don't. A lot of guys don't like that shit, you know, out there like that on their helmets, because they're like, oh, it looks lame, or, you know, man, it ain't about all that. Be safe, because you done seizured out on the field a few times now, and the last time you didn't even get hit. Then his head just hit the ground.
Yeah.
Like your head just hit the ground and you seizured out. So like you should be the last person. If we trying to make the game safer like they always be saying they are, they shouldn't even really be giving him a choice.
And that's exactly how I feel. I don't think it should have been a choice of his. I think it should have been, hey, bro, if you want to come back and play, you're going to have to wear this Guardian cap thing. Let's see if it works. They don't even know if it fully works. They're trying to test it out to prevent stuff like this happening further. And like you said, man, it seems like a personal thing with him. Like every time he gets defensive when they ask him stuff about the concussions, like it wasn't him. Like, bro, that was you. Like we're not coming to you with some random stuff. Like that was you out there that was doing that. You're gonna spend way more time on this earth than you are gonna spend playing football. This is not about playing football. This is about your long-term health moving forward from here, man. If I was Mike McDaniel, first of all, Mike McDaniel got to put the vape down and coach. Let's start with that. You starting to look crazy out here, man. You looking weird. Your hair looking a little weird, man. Your eyes be buck whenever you're going out there on the sideline. You scaring me, bro. And then we starting to see you can't really coach like that. This team is too talented for y'all to be 2-4. Now they are the only team yesterday that messed up. I did a shorter parlay. I did a little 5-legger. They the only ones messed up my parlay and lost to the Colts, bro. How you lose to the Colts? Come on, man. You got too much talent. You got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Ramsey, Devin Achane, Raheem Mostert. You got all these people, bro. You shouldn't be losing to the Colts. Like, let's just keep it a buck. You should not lose to the Indianapolis Colts, bro. They're not good at football. And you're losing to them 16-10. You can't score 10 points because your quarterback is hurt? 10 points out of all these other weapons you got on this team. You can't score more than 10 points. Mike McDaniel, we looking at you, bro. You got to do something. He's hoping to. That's why he ain't speaking on this Tua thing. He hoping Tua come back. Because Tua going to save his job.
Yeah, you know who they remind me of?
Who was that?
For sure. Because he remind me of Lincoln Riley.
Yeah. Yep.
He reminds me a lot of Lincoln
Somebody
Riley.
else on the hot seat.
That's another coach that's about to get fired. Yeah, he's it's over.
Yeah,
I think it's over.
His seat's too hot. He about to be fired. Yeah, I agree.
They just lost against Maryland. It's over.
Yeah, I mean,
he's very similar
same.
to Lincoln Riley. They got these high-powered offenses that just can't get the job done.
And I don't get what it is. What is it, bro? If you're an offensive coach, you're an offensive guru, and you got all this talent, you got Tyreek Hill, you got a track team on your offense. You can't get 10 points because you don't have a quarterback in? Bro, you should come up with something. Look at Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin ain't never been an offensive coach. They went to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph and the Duck Hunter guy. Can't even remember the dude's name. Duck Hodges. That's what they was calling him. How's your nickname, Duck? That's how he was going to the playoffs. So I don't want to hear that. And with nobody on offense. He didn't have nobody on offense. You got Pro Bowlers on your offense. Multiple of them. And your defense ain't even terrible. They held the Colts to 16. You got dudes on the defense. They ain't terrible. Yeah, Jordan Phillips got hurt and is out for the season. You still got other dudes on there. You got a high payroll on your defense. A lot of guys on that defense are getting paid money. Calais Campbell, Emmanuel Ogbah, Jalen Ramsey, Marcus May, Kendall Fuller. All these guys are getting paid money. Jordan Poyer. You got a lot of dudes on there. You got a lot of current Pro Bowlers and former Pro Bowlers on this defense. You got a lot of current and former Pro Bowlers on this offense. You got to do better than that, man. So Tua, I hope at this point he's coming back. So I hope that he can be as safe as he possibly can when he comes back, man. But put the Guardian cap on. Put on the Guardian cap, bro. And people, it's not gonna make people. No one thinks you're cool. It's not gonna be like we're gonna start roasting you because you got the Guardian cap on. Because it's not like you're just a swaggy guy right now in the league. Like when you're out there in the field, you look regular, like a my player. Like you look regular, bro. So just put the Guardian cap on, man. There's nothing to it. Just put on the Guardian cap. Folks, we're going to take a quick break, last break of the show. Come back for the final stretch. We're going to talk about a couple of more of these games from yesterday, and then we got to preview this doubleheader. Once again, they're back with the Monday Night Football doubleheader. And the second one is on ESPN+. What are y'all doing? Sometimes I got questions for the NFL. What are y'all doing with that, man? Why is there a Monday Night Football game on ESPN+? But we'll talk about that in a second. Stay tuned and stay locked in with us on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this short break.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
That's right, sports fans.
About to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis, your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime home stretch here of the show. We're here in the final 30 minutes of the show. Still here, joined by PJ Gaither, and still got some of these games to break down as we dive through some of these football topics, man. As we said earlier in the show, best time of the year if you're a sports fan. Best time of the year if you're a sports fan. You've got World Series going on. NBA season starts tomorrow. NFL season in full throttle at this point. We're starting to figure out who some of these teams are. Starting to figure out who some of these teams aren't. And starting to see the real contenders and pretenders in the NFL right now. And we'll stay right there. We just got done talking about Tua and the Dolphins and what they got going on. And PJ, you alluded to it a little bit earlier, talking about this NFC North, man. The NFC North is just ridiculous right now. I thought that the AFC North coming into the season was going to be the best division in football. Clearly, I was wrong about that. But the NFC North is it's a powerhouse division. The worst team in the NFC North is the Bears, and I think they're going to stay the worst team. But they're 4-2. That would be the division leader in half the divisions in the NFL right now. Sitting at 4-2. At least half of them in the NFC. You'd be a division leader.
Yeah.
And Chicago sitting at last place in there. Chicago didn't play last week, but we just saw the Detroit Lions in Minnesota play last week. And to me, that didn't change anything. Now, they got on me last week for my top 5 list where I had Detroit number 3 and I had Minnesota number 4. They're saying, Minnesota's undefeated. Well, I thought Detroit was better than Minnesota, and here they go. So now my list looks right. Detroit gets a win over Minnesota, and we talked about that in hour number 1. But the other team in the division that's honestly just as good as these two teams in the division and can still win this division is the Green Bay Packers. Now, they beat my team yesterday, and there's multiple reasons for it. As I want to talk about this game yesterday. Houston loses 24-22, last-second field goal. Green Bay wins the game at Green Bay off of a 40-something yard last-second field goal. So it's a good game, going both ways. For one, first thing take away from the game is I just talked about Texas' O-line. The Texans' O-line is starting to be a problem, and they got whooped yesterday. That was the worst game that C.J. Stroud has had since he's been a starter. That was the worst game our offense has had since C.J. Stroud has been a starter. Only 86 yards, 10 for 21. Couldn't do anything. He was getting hit every single play, just about. They were getting pressure from the inside, from the outside. Didn't really matter. They were finding a way to get pressure. However, you can get pressure on C.J. Stroud. Didn't give us much time to do anything. Nico Collins is missing. That's also another big piece, but we couldn't do anything because he didn't have time to throw the ball at all. But I will say I still like the Texans. Obviously, I'm a Texans fan, but I still like them as being one of the top teams in the AFC because if you have your worst game on offense and you still lose, that's not nothing to really hang your hat on. To hang your head about. Still sitting at 5-2, still sitting in first place in our division, even though the Colts are sneaking up. And I didn't think the Colts were going to be terrible coming into the season either, by the way. They're sitting at 4-3. That's not a shocker to me. I thought they were going to lose yesterday to the Dolphins, but it's not a shocker if they're 4-3. We're still sitting at the top of our division at 5-2. Green Bay, man, and the difference with Green Bay is last year I thought they were winning with Jordan Love. Now I see they're winning because of Jordan Love. Yeah, he threw 2 picks yesterday, but we could have won that game. He playing one of the better defenses in the league. Texans could have still won that game easily. I mean, it was the last-second field goal that they won on. But some of those throws Jordan Love was making, they're winning those games because that's Jordan Love throwing the ball. And he was a predecessor to Aaron Rodgers. He got to learn a lot from Aaron Rodgers. He said it himself. He learned so much from that 3 years sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. But to me, he's more Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers. He don't mind trying to squeeze the ball by 2 defenders in a tight window. When a lot of people say, hey, you don't make that throw. One of those touchdowns, man, you got to have a cannon on your arm to be able to make that throw. And he made the throw, and they're winning because of him. It's just straight up. They're winning because of Jordan Love, and their defense is no slouch. Now, I'm trying to figure out when did the Packers get so tough. Everybody on the Packers turned into a tough guy yesterday. I'm like, man, what is with all this arguing and everybody tough? Jair been like that. I ain't even talking about Jair. But everybody on the defense is a tough guy. They put C.J. Stroud out of bounds. They trying to fight C.J. Stroud. I'm like, man, this dude be talking about Jesus. What you trying to fight him for? You got to fight somebody else on the team. Why you want to beat up the quarterback, bro? You a lineman. You think he gonna fight you? Like, what's going on there? But that defense does got some guys on their defense. I will give him that. Shout out to the rookie Evan Williams, man. He's been playing great since got a chance to get out there in that secondary for Green Bay. Rashawn Gary is one of those guys. Shout out Xavier McKinney. He's looking like one of the best safeties in the league since he got away from the Giants. Another guy that gets away from the New York Giants and turns into one of the best players in the league. But he's looking like one of the best safeties in the league right now. Leading the league in picks. Was one of their leaders in tackles yesterday. Got a sack as well out there. Got to shout him out, man. And Jair is doing what Jair does. I like Stephon Diggs. He's on my team. And I think he's a really good player. Jair Alexander had him in a straitjacket yesterday. It just is what it is. Just because it's my team don't mean I ain't going to keep it real. Jair Alexander had him in a straitjacket all night, and he wanted to fight. You seen him after the game, wanted to go fight. That's what you do when you get locked up. You go try to fight, man. That's just an old code rule that everybody knows. You get locked up, you try to start a fight after that, man. That's just an old school park rule. Everybody picked up. Stephon Diggs did what he was supposed to do. Dude locks you up the whole game, man, talks crazy to you. You got to punch on him, man. That's the only way you can try to get a win, and your team lost. But Jair had him in a straitjacket. He's still one of the best corners in the league. I like Green Bay. I like this Green Bay Packers team. Now, Kyrell put him in his top 5 last week. I still think that was crazy because I'm not putting him, even after this win, I'm not putting him over Minnesota or putting him over Detroit in that division or in the top 5. But the Green Bay Packers are going to be a problem to deal with. PJ, what'd you think about this game yesterday with the Packers and the Texans? Packers end up getting the win 24-22. PJ, you still got me on here? I hear your mic on. I was saying, yeah.
It kind of.
Oh, it went out. Yeah. My bad. No, I asked, what'd you think about that Texans and Green Bay game yesterday? Packers able to pull out a win.
Oh, that was a real good matchup. It was real close. Of course, I was rooting for the Texans to come out with the win, but the Packers, they really showed that they're a contender, man, coming out the NFC for sure, and definitely out their division. Jordan Love, I was very upset last year whenever they played us in the playoffs and he beat us. But he's pretty much made me a believer. He's a really good young quarterback.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of upside for sure. And then they built a team around him where he can really prosper. Similar to how the Houston Texans have done for C.J. Stroud. You know what I mean? They did the same thing for him, just building a team up around him and helping him. So that's a matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing for the near future, honestly. Both of these guys and just kind of watching both quarterbacks just grow. This game could have went either way, man. I believe if they will play again that the Texans probably will win the next time if they were to ever play again. But like that game, the Vikings versus the Lions. We had a few good games yesterday, man. It was some games yesterday that was going on that was pretty good. The Niners and the Chiefs too. It was a few games that really caught my attention, but this one right here really did for sure. just seeing how both teams are really good. And I think the Texans gonna bounce back, this upcoming week. They'll bounce back from this loss, but kudos to the Packers though, for sure. That was a really, really good win for them.
Yeah, Texans will get back in the win column, and I think they'll be okay. They got to figure out some stuff on that O-line though. Laramie Tunsil, one of the best left tackles in the league still, but some of our other spots, man, we got to figure some stuff out. Yeah, we had some injuries, but quarterback can't get hit that much. We'll get back in the win column. We got the Colts and the Jets. That should be 2 dubs before we end up getting Detroit on Sunday Night Football, and then after that, the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. So they got 2 easier games supposed to be, even though division rivalries are never going to be easy games before they get the Lions and Cowboys after that. So I think they'll be in good shape moving forward from here, but got to give kudos to the Packers, man. They went out there and won the game. They did what they were supposed to do. Defense played decent for the Texans, but we couldn't get the job done at the end when we needed to stop in that last drive. Jordan Love was able to get down the field and make things happen once again. So I'm excited about watching that NFC North and what they can do out there. So there was a few good games on yesterday, and there were some games that were expected wins. Obviously, Buffalo beating Tennessee, that's obvious ones. Philadelphia beating New York, that's obvious. Even though shout out Saquon, man, he had the revenge game that you're supposed to have. You got to go out there when your team don't even want to pay you and do what he did yesterday against the Giants. So that's what the Giants deserve. So I was happy to see them go out there and do that. And Philadelphia sneaking back up as a team in this NFC. They're just putting together wins. They're just doing what they're supposed to do, putting together wins, trying to take over that division from the Washington Commanders, even though the Commanders got a win yesterday, playing the worst team in football in the Carolina Panthers. Cincinnati wins a close one against the Browns. Unfortunately, we saw the news about Deshaun Watson tears his Achilles, man. No one ever wants to see that out there. What I didn't like about that game is why did they put the other quarterback in, man? I get you trying to see what you got with him. And Dorian Thompson Robinson. I understand you see what you're trying to get, but let Jameis Winston go out there, man. This team is not bad. The Cleveland Browns aren't bad. That's the problem. They have players on their team, but you're making them go out there and play knowing they're going to lose. With Deshaun Watson was out there now, he's going to be out for the season, and who knows where his career goes from here, because he's probably going to miss almost all of next season, if not majority of it, while giving them like a $70 million cap hit or something crazy. And then you're making these guys go out there and play knowing they're going to lose, man. Let Jameis Winston go out there and rock. He came right in and threw a touchdown. Y'all should have been letting him go out there and do what y'all know Jameis Winston can do. He's already one of the leaders of y'all's team. Might as well let him go out there and do what he does. So that's all I had to say about that Cleveland Browns game. But Deshaun Watson tearing his ACL. Hopefully, he can get back to being able to play football again, even though he wasn't playing good. Even though he wasn't playing good at the time, still want to see him. Don't want to see him go out with an injury. But that was some of the games from yesterday. Got to talk about these games coming up tonight. The Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is going to be a really good game. A game that I'm actually excited to be able to watch once we get off the show here in a few minutes. Two teams that are looking like two of the better teams in their conference, in their division and in their conference. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that, like I said, I would have put in my top 5 that I do. Y'all see me do my top 5 tomorrow. That's a team that I would have put into my top 5 yesterday. Put into my top 5 last week if they wouldn't have lost to the Atlanta Falcons. And then we just seen the Atlanta Falcons go out and get blown out by Seattle. But Tampa Bay and Baltimore tonight. The other game is the Chargers and Cardinals. That's kind of just, I see why it's on ESPN+. But the main game, Baltimore versus Tampa Bay, both these teams got momentum rolling their way. I had Baltimore as my number 2 best team in the NFL. I think they've looked the best. Yeah, they got 2 losses. But since those 2 losses, man, they've looked really good. And one of those losses is kind of like a barely loss. I know there's only wins and losses. There's no such thing as barely. But one of them is a barely loss. If Likely's foot was just a little bit smaller, they would have won that game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But They didn't. That is what it is. That was at the beginning of the year. Since then, they've looked great. Derrick Henry's looking like right back to being the best back in the league. We'll probably talk about that later this week. Who's the best back in the league, Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry? But you can't go wrong with either one of those. Derrick Henry's still putting up the numbers that he's been putting up for the last 5 or 6 years. The Tampa Bay side. Tampa Bay has looked good. I like Todd Bowles as a coach. I like Baker Mayfield as a quarterback, leading that team out there. He's proved why he got a deal in the offseason, and it's paying off. They blew out the Saints last week. Now they got a real deal test this week as they take on the Baltimore Ravens. PJ, wanted to get your opinion on this game, man. What do you think about Baltimore versus Tampa Bay tonight? Baltimore 4.5-point favorite right now going into the game, coming on in about 30 minutes.
This is a heavyweight matchup right here, man.
Yeah.
I feel like both of these teams, I don't want to say that they're similar, but the way that they've been trending is very similar. Both teams been getting better every week. You know, I got to go for the Ravens. That's like my third team. But, I mean, they playing in Tampa. And as of recently, man, definitely, I mean, just really this year, honestly, Tampa, bro, they've been looking really good, definitely at home.
Oh, yeah.
They've been looking really, really good at home. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're gonna come out ready to play. I just think it's gonna go more towards the Ravens. You know, with this Ravens team, man, they just got the opportunity to pretty much run any team into the ground. Definitely when you got you got Derrick Henry right now. He's the leading rusher in the league, and we already know what he's coming with. It's just hard to stop that guy. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to stop him. But then you got Lamar. And outside of Lamar just making it happen with his legs, I mean, dude just know how to just make plays, period, bro. Whether it's running, passing. I mean, last week against the Bengals when he did the stiff arm, when he stiffed arm the dude to the ground and then still that was just crazy, man. Plays like that, that's not regular.
No, it's not.
Like that's not regular. That's one of a kind plays that really just signify like how great he is. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward. I can't wait. I'm gonna tune in to this game in about 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's about to come on.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm tuning in to this game for sure. But this like I said, this is gonna be a heavyweight matchup. I mean, they both got the same record 4-2, but both these teams could have easily been 6-0.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Not a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah. A lot of these, I mean, both these teams, I mean, when you go back and look at their losses, it wasn't that they really just, to me, it wasn't that they really just got, like, outplayed. It was more of just mistakes on their end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That they kind of hurt themselves. Even disregarding the 26-7 loss that the Buccaneers had against the Broncos.
That's kind of a wild card.
That was a little, you know, like definitely with the Ravens. I don't feel like at first they hadn't really caught stride yet. But I mean, you see now, and you see how they looking. They looking like one of the best teams in the league in these last few weeks. So both these teams, man, they both dangerous. Both these teams, they contenders for sure. I'm gonna go with the Ravens though for tonight for sure.
Yeah, I like the Ravens in this matchup, even though, like you said, they're on the road. Both of these teams really good. I think Tampa Bay lost a tough one against Atlanta that, like you said, stuff just kind of shakes out at the end. They lost that game in overtime, and then Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards. Like, you're going to lose the game if Kirk Cousins throws for 500 yards. He ain't doing that again. You just seen them go out there and lose to Seattle. And like we all had Seattle falling off the wagon after the way they played the last 3 weeks. But they got right back in the win column on the Atlanta Falcons. That's why I haven't been a believer in the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm not going to be one. They're just going to have to prove it to me. Do I think they can sneak in the playoffs? Maybe. But I'm way more of a Buccaneers fan than I am Atlanta Falcons fan. I think Kirk Cousins just had one of them out-of-body type of games when he played Tampa Bay. But this is a really good matchup, and one that really's got some decent implications on it. Buccaneers need this win. They need this win because if they can go out here, Atlanta just lost. If they can go out here and get to 5-2 while Atlanta's 4-3, this is a tough race in that NFC South between them two teams. That's the one that they need. And then Baltimore, you trying to just keep going upwards, keep going up. Houston lost yesterday. Buffalo got back in the win column, but you already smashed on Buffalo earlier this year. Nobody's scared of Pittsburgh. And then Kansas City looks very beatable. Every game they've looked beatable, honestly. They haven't played anybody where I'm just like, man, no matter what happened tonight, they were going to, maybe the Saints, but that's about it, to where it's like no matter what, they were going to win this game tonight. So you just want to keep trending upwards. So I'm excited to see this one. Another good Monday Night Football game. The other game coming on tonight, the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Chargers. Usually I wouldn't even talk about this game, but I always like seeing Kyler Murray play when I can on national television. I'm a fan of his. Not really a fan of anything else the Cardinals have going on as an organization. But the Chargers, they're one of these sneaky teams in the AFC that can put together some wins that can sneak into one of them wild card spots, man. I wouldn't be shocked about it at all if the Chargers were able to get a wild card berth, especially with the way that the AFC North has fallen off. I wouldn't be shocked at all. And then those teams that were supposed to be contenders, the Jets, trash. The Dolphins, trash. The Bengals, kind of trash. We really don't know. So the Chargers are right there as far as getting the wild. We don't know who's going to get that wild card spot in the AFC. We know the Pittsburgh Steelers will be one of them for sure, because I think the Ravens are going to win that division. But after that, you're competing with who? The Colts, the Dolphins for a wild card berth. So, and then you got to try to get that leg up on Denver. You beat Denver last week, but Denver still sitting at 4-3. They got a chance to beat up on the Saints on Thursday to start the week off. So you got to try to keep that leg up. So I'm gonna be tuning into this game too. Definitely, I'll be watching the Baltimore game more, but I will be tuning into this Chargers and Cardinals game. Right now, they got the Chargers -1. I'm taking that. I don't know why they think it's going to be such a close game. I think the Chargers might win by a touchdown in this game tonight against the Cardinals. It is at home, so maybe that's why they're giving the Cardinals a little bit of love. But I like the Chargers in this game. PJ, what you think about this game? The second Monday night game, Chargers and Cardinals.
I'm the same, man. I like seeing Kyler Murray play, so I might kind of tune in just a little bit on this game. It's not as exciting as the other game that we talked about at first, but still overall, with the Cardinals, I was expecting them. They to me they're still a good team, bro. They just don't really know how to finish.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my biggest thing with them. The record makes it seem like they're just terrible, but in reality, if you really watch, all of their games, they're a good team, bro. They just necessarily don't know how to finish.
They don't got a lot of talent.
They got a lot of talent, man. Or they just don't know how to start strong. And by the time they do, try to play and try to take it serious, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, it's already too late. And that's why you've seen them get blown out by a few teams, because those other teams, they came out the gate, pretty fast, and they didn't. And so, at that point, you really, it's nothing that you can do, man. Definitely whenever somebody quarterback gets hot, kind of like Jaden Daniels did when they played the Commanders. So
Jordan Love, too.
It's just Jordan Love, too. It's really tough on this Cardinals team, man. Like I said, they got a lot of talent. I don't really know if they had ever really put it together.
But, man. Larry gave them one chance.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna ever really.
Yeah,
I still respect the team. With the Chargers, this is a team that had a lot of hype, and I still feel like they kind of do. Got a lot of hype coming into this season. I really love Herbert.
Yeah,
I've liked Herbert since he was a rookie. Really since college. I've always liked Herbert. I look at him almost like the new age, and I'm not saying that he's just like Dan Marino, but he's similar. He's like a new age Dan Marino to me.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's arm his arm, you can't really work that out. Like, you can't build that into somebody. That's just natural.
Yeah.
It's just natural. So that's why I compare him to a guy like Dan Marino. But in a lot of ways, too, like a Dan Marino, this is a guy that I feel he's so good, but it's still early on in his career. It's still
he hasn't been able to get over that to that next step though. I feel you.
Yeah, he ain't got over that hump yet, man. And then this the year that people been talking about, feeling like that he possibly could.
New coach, yeah.
They went out and they got a strong defense, So they're looking at it like, okay, well, let's see what he's gonna do this year, So I mean, right now they're 3-2. They second in their division in the AFC West, and they still able to possibly make some noise. Definitely as a wild card team, or I mean, if you want to say, if the Chiefs end up, losing as the season continues to go, the Chargers are right there to be able to win the AFC West division.
Yeah, you just got to be right there.
Yeah, you just got to be right there, man. It just all comes down to how the rest of the season is going to go. I got the Chargers winning tonight. I feel like they're going to be just too much for this Cardinals team, and not necessarily just because they're just better as far as like the athletes on their team. It's coaching. It's coaching, executing, everything that you're supposed to do on the field. I feel like that they're just the more disciplined team, and so I think they're going to win tonight against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I think the coaching plays a big part in that, man. Jim Harbaugh, he's coming in and he's putting his stamp on his team. That he's lessening the chances of Justin Herbert messing something up. He missed the game already. He's been hurt a couple times so far this year, but he's 6 touchdowns to 1 pick. That's a good ratio. That's a good ratio.
Yeah.
And he's limiting the chances that Justin Herbert can go out there and do something dumb. I get what you're saying about the Marino thing. Now Marino, his arm is different. But Justin Herbert, he's got an arm on him. No idea. I mean, the Dolphins has got to slap themselves every day, man. You pick 2 over this guy. Each year it gets worse. Right. When you look at it, each year it gets worse that you pick 2 at number 5 and Herbert fell to 6 or 7 wherever you went to the Chargers. Yeah, because what were you thinking? How could you look at both of them throw the football and you thought Tua was better than him at anything having to do with quarterback? Crazy. But they did what they did. And since he's been there, like you said, bro, he haven't really done anything yet. But I blame a lot of that on Brandon Staley, man. I think Brandon Staley was a terrible coach. They had teams that are way more talented than the team they got now. And Jim Harbaugh is kind of having to rebuild that. You put Jim Harbaugh with some of the teams they had the last couple of years, man, they could have been dangerous. But it is what it is. He's rebuilding this team, restructuring the team. They run the ball a lot more. They went and got both the running backs in Baltimore. They went and got J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards so they can fully commit to being able to run this football. Don't have a lot of talent at the receiver spot, but he's making it work with Justin Herbert, and then they're playing defense. As long as you got Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack and Derwin James, you're going to have a decent defense. If you got them 3 guys, your defense is going to be decent almost no matter what. Jim Harbaugh is a more defensive coach out there. And then you talked about an arm. We're getting ready to close the show out. I just got to say, Sam Darnold had one of the best throws of the season yesterday. He had one where he's backed up in his end zone and chunked it out to, I think it was to Addison, man. I mean, I was like, that's a throw. He threw it to almost the 40-yard line on the other 40-yard line from the end zone. I almost forgot Sam Darnold had an arm like that. That's why he got drafted that high. I almost forgot he could even throw the ball like that, man. That was a heck of a throw that he had yesterday, and that made me think about that when you talked about Herbert's arm. But, yeah, I think we both on the Chargers for a win tonight, both on Baltimore for a win tonight. So we'll see what they're going to do. Monday Night Football coming on in about 20 minutes, folks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today on this Monday edition of Centex Primetime. We're going to be back tomorrow, 5 to 7 p.m. We'll fully break down the full slate of NFL games. We'll dive in on some more college football. And NBA season starts tomorrow, so we're going to have more time to delegate just to talk about NBA basketball. That starts tomorrow. Can't wait for all of that to start. Best time of the year, MLB, NFL, and NBA all at the same time. You can get all the coverage for that right here on Centex Primetime. Go ahead, PJ.
Yeah, no, I was saying this is for sure the best time of the year, man. You got every sport going on right now.
Yeah, best time, man. I mean, every October we get this, and we're right in line for that time of the year. So get ready for that tomorrow. We're gonna break down some more of these topics. As always, subscribe to the YouTube Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV on YouTube. Download the app so you can listen on Infinity Sports Radio Central Texas on Centex Sports One. Download the app on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store. Getting ready to sign off here today is Jalen Gillis. We will see you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a great evening and go watch these Monday Night Football games.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex